Much like Tiger Woods was at the peak of his powers in the 2000s, so was the game franchise bearing his name during the 6th generation of consoles. Everyone had their favourite from this era, and no one's answer is wrong. 2004 introduced Game Face in the first iteration of Season Mode, 2005 added Legend Golfers and Tiger Proofing, 06 had the deepest Tiger Challenge mode of the lot in the form of Rivals, 07 had the most courses on disc of any game of the generation, and 08 introduced some big improvements to Season Mode like the FedEx Cup and ability to set tournament links. But it's 2003 that I'll be talking about today, as this was the game that truly got the ball rolling for this string of Tiger titles that are well remembered even today.
Welcome to Tiger Woods PGA Tour 2003. We've got a revolutionary new real-time analog swing, and we want to make sure that you get the hang of it before we turn you loose on the links.
The analog swing was indeed a game changer for a genre that had previously used the 3-click swing or variation thereof almost exclusively. It was actually introduced in Tiger Woods 2002, which was also the first game specifically designed for 6th gen consoles. But the reason I used 2003 for this retrospective is simple. Whilst 2002 only had 6 courses, 03 had 12. And it was this extra content that helped raise the bar from there onwards for what a golf game needed to be in order to be considered great. And the key word there is game, not simulation. Tiger's reputation for being an arcade franchise was solidified here with features like Power Boost and mid-air spin control, features that EA wanted you to use to the point where they were still turned on even on the more difficult tour play preset. This less serious approach to golf did not stop with the gameplay. The presentation would often spice up well-hit tee shots as well as particularly good approach shots and big moments such as putting for the win. David Ferretti also had his fair share of out-there commentary lines. EA's quest to be unique also extended to the putting greens, as instead of a traditional grid, you were given a line that would indicate where your putt might go if you hit it straight at the hole, and then you would have to adjust your aim to compensate. Tap-ins were also automatic, which was a nice presentation feature and saved the player the hassle of having to line up gimmies. Tiger Challenge was this game's featured mode, a mode that would be iterated upon for many years afterwards. It was a sequence of mostly match play competitions where you would work up the ladder to eventually earn the right to challenge Tiger Woods for the #1 golfer ranking. A lot of in-game money could be made in this mode, which was essential for unlocking all of the courses and also upgrading your custom character that you would use in Tiger Challenge. Though with Game Face not yet existing, you were limited to selecting the appearance of any existing golfer you had unlocked to that point. In addition to relevant tour pros from that time period, you'd also encounter eccentric original characters, such as
Dominic finished second at the 2002 World Championships, just a stroke behind the winner in a heated battle. Soon after that tournament, however, that winner mysteriously disappeared and was never heard from again. Although it was never proven that Dominic was responsible, his opponents on the tour all seem to crumble down the stretch when he's in contention, fearing for their own safety and perhaps a pair of cement golf shoes.
But Tiger 2003 was far from a one-trick pony when it came to long-form game modes. There were also a total of 50 scenarios to challenge and beat, and whilst the game lacked a true season mode, many of the tournaments were still in place, and the game would keep track of which tournaments you had and hadn't beaten. In fact, when you add up these two modes I've just mentioned, with record chasing and trophy balls, there was a lot to do if you wanted 100% completion in this game. Looking through all of this makes me realise why newer games which are bigger and deeper also feel more empty, because back in the day developers did more with less. Consider the par 5 eagles and trophy balls in this case. All little things that add up and add quite a bit of longevity to a relatively small game. The game had a couple of good fun on the side modes too, most notably Speed Golf, for those who wanted to unleash their inner Jeremy Clarkson on a golf course.
Speed is right, speed is good, speed works.
It was all about taking your shot as quickly as possible and then button mashing L1 to run to your ball and take the next shot. If you reached your ball soon enough, you could even stop the ball before it had finished rolling, allowing you to complete the hole even quicker. But speed did not always win the day. A more accurate player could win if the stroke advantage offset their slowness. So there was a nuance of having to both go fast and not take too many strokes. And the other big muck around mode was the skill zone, which came in a number of varieties, some multiplayer, some not. But the simplest way to play it was you got 20 balls and tried to hit as many targets as possible in the area of choice. And along the way, maybe hit a long drive or two. It's quite a nice practice facility type mode that I'd like to see come back in another golf game, though I fear that EA may be a little bit too traditionalist nowadays, having had to make the change to court Augusta National in particular. In fact, the zanier aspects of the Tiger games were being toned down as early as 06, and I don't think we're ever going to see another PGA Tour game quite like Tiger's 2003 to 2005. With that being said, those three games, especially 2003, helped set the foundation that allowed EA to sit atop the golf game genre for over a decade, though their dominance was not without stiff competition. Because on the horizon lay two golf games made in Japan, sharing a single franchise origin, that would each lay a strong claim of their own to the title of best golf game to date. But that is a story for another video. For now, I honestly can't find anything to fault Tiger Woods 2003 on, other than to point out the missing features that were added in later installments of the franchise, which is why I think the game thoroughly deserves to be called the first great Tiger game. Maybe not the absolute best in the franchise, but it always has to be talked about when talking about good golf games and games which push the genre forward to new heights.